Welcome, race fans, to Maximum Speed Racing's nationwide or Xfinity Series race tonight here at New Hampshire for 180 laps. Oh boy. The guys are out here practicing, doing the best they can. Hopefully they can put on a good show for you tonight. We don't see a lot of cautions, but you just never know about New Hampshire. Flat track, and from what I'm hearing from the guys, pretty slick out there tonight. Drivers are in a mandatory drivers meeting right now. Doesn't look like we're going to have a huge field here tonight. I think a flat track kind of scares a few of the members, and the long race could be the other thing that kind of scares them. 180 laps here tonight, so. All right, a little less than 10 minutes, folks, so make sure you got something to drink and you're ready for the duration. A couple of shout-outs. Special shout-out tonight to David Howard Jr.'s friend, Andy, recuperating in the hospital. Our prayers are with you, Andy. We wish you the best to get back to feeling better. A few other shout-outs: Cameron, Diane, Sharon, Leanna, Dylan, Pat, Logan, Dan, and Tom Brandner. So big shout outs to them. Thank you to all of our viewers that tune in here. Street Boss, one of our faithful viewers, tunes in once in a while. So thank you, Street Boss. Appreciate that. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to cut the volume on that. Whoops. Also, Mr. and Mrs. Smallwood that tune in to watch Daniel each and every race that Daniel's in. They do support him. That is really awesome. Having a few pit parties here to get warmed up, so we're going to double check here and make sure we do have our trading paints updated. So excuse me if you have white cars here for just a minute, but we want to double check and make sure that everybody's paints are updated. Okay, folks, we are only a minute, less than a minute and a half away from qualifying, so hopefully everybody is ready for this race here, New Hampshire, for 180 laps. We're waiting for qualifying to start. Another minute. Well, that minute flew by really quick, so all right, folks, we're going to cut away here for a quick minute, play our national anthem, and we will be right back.
Guys.
And now for the most famous words in motorsports. Gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, only one time has come in so far. There's two-time. Thomas Keene on the top spot now. Hey, Street Boss and Brandon. Can you change that name on there, Brandon? You should be able to. You can create another account on your same account. Just create another account on your account. Just go up to your little icon up there in the top right-hand corner and create a new account. And actually, you could probably delete that one, or I don't know, freeze it, or what? I don't know. I don't know. Whatever you can do with it, Brandon. Well, it don't look like we've got a whole lot of qualifiers out there tonight. Thomas Keene, Sean Butler, James Lehman, Stephen Pearson, Daniel Smallwood, and John Mushton. That leaves quite a few non-qualifiers that want to start in the back of the field. Probably not a bad choice here at New Hampshire. Give yourself plenty of room to steer clear of any wrecks. I have a funny feeling, and everybody's been talking about it, just how slick these cars are out here on New Hampshire tonight. I just kind of have a funny feeling we're probably going to see an exceptionally high count on caution. So this is going to turn iRacing into iPacing, folks. I hope not, but I think it's there, and I think we all accept it. We know it's going to happen, so just be prepared. We may see a lot of caution, but we may not. These guys may really, they may really get a good grip on it. Yeah, I'm ready, Tommy. I'm ready, as always. Again, shout outs here. I wanted to make sure that some people may have just tuned in. David Howard Jr. Asked me to give a shout out to his friend that is in the hospital and is very sick. He needs a lot of prayers. Prayers out to you, Andy. We hope you get better. And man, it's a terrible thing what you're going through. We sympathize with you, and hopefully you get better. Cameron, Diane, Sharon, Leanna, Dylan, Pat, Logan, Dan, Tom Brandner, Street Boss, Steve Hurst, usually checking in, and Brandon. So definitely shout outs to all of you faithful viewers. We wanted to give all of you, Mr. and Mrs. Smallwood, that usually tune in all the time. Yes, Travis is in there too. Okay, we're down here ready to go racing. Let me see if I can run down through the list here real quick. Thomas Keene taking the pole with a 30.543. Congratulations to him for grabbing the pole. On the outside of him, Sean Butler, very close in time, only 5/1000ths of a second separating them two. James Lehman starting third, Stephen Pearson in fourth, Daniel Smallwood fifth, and John Mushton Jr., the last one to qualify, starting sixth. Robert O'Neill in seventh, Scott Brinson eighth, Tommy Lee not there. David Howard Jr. starting 10th. Looks like Mark Robertson starting 12th. Tyler Stanley in 13th. Man, how many max speeds we got in here? Brian Phillips in 15th. Kevin O'Brien 16th. And shotgun on the field, Timothy Lewis in the new paint job there by David Howard Jr. in the Budweiser car. Awesome paint job. My favorite out on the track tonight, folks. Awesome. We'll see him work his way to the front. Okay, back up front here to our leader as we are ready to get these guys going. I said, yeah, I gave a shout out to Sherelle. I think I did. Maybe I didn't. Wow. Bad Rudy. Sherelle, I am sorry. Please do not get mad at me. Oh. I think she goes by Leanna too, so or one of them do. Sharon. I don't know. One of them goes by a different name too, so but my bad. Shout out to Sherelle as well, Lee Bedzel's daughter. She's also dealing with some health issues, so thoughts and prayers out to her too. Lee is there with her as we speak. He is doing some camping. Rode down there to visit his daughter on his motorcycle, so we wish him safety and a safe return home. We don't want to lose any of our friends. So, all right. It wouldn't let you change it? No, but you can create another account. what I'm saying. You can have many accounts on Google. Just make a new account. All right, pace car's in. Thomas Keene waiting on the green. Green is out. And here we go. Great start by James Lehman there. Comes right up on Thomas Keene. Boy, side by side here with Sean Butler on the front row. Keene and Butler, both of them really loose right now. Butler trying to see if he can get up here and maybe snag that first lap to get that bonus point for leading the first lap. He does have a good run on the high side, and he may come out the victor on that and lead the first lap. And he does. Good job. Only 14 drivers in here. Wow, this is really kind of odd. But like I said, folks, I think a lot of people really don't like this track. It's a flat track, hard to drive. James Lehman now on the outside of Thomas Keene gets a good run here. He's seen Sean Butler do that, and it looks like he's going to make it work out there too. So the outside could be the line here, folks. He does go into second. No, you can use the same email. James Lehman, I'm not sure exactly what happened to him, but Thomas Keene now takes over second. What happened to... I don't know. James Lehman looked like he fell out or something. Some issues going on, I see. Daniel Smallwood now in third. I don't even know what happened to James Lehman. I guess he's way back in 12th. That was weird. He like blinked out and all of a sudden he's clear back in 12th. Wow. Okay. That was really weird. Thomas Keene in second. Daniel Smallwood third. Stephen Pearson. Good to see Stephen back racing with us, man. He's we've kind of missed him, I guess, work schedule, time-wise, and everything. He's finally got where he can race with us again. Hopefully he can keep racing with us. I like to see Stephen Pearson out there. Good racer. I always call him Mr. Be There at the End, Stephen Pearson. John Mushton Jr. in fifth. These guys being patient, letting the tires work for them. You might need a new email. Well, what's wrong with another email? I've got several. Scott Brinson in 6th. David Howard Jr. in 7th. Started 10th. And Tyler Stanley working his way into the 8th place after starting 13th. Mark Robertson 9th. James Lehman now back up to the 10th place, working his way back up after blinking there. Oh, okay. Okay, very good. Robert O'Neill in 11th. Brian Phillips still out there. The only one at the moment is still eligible for the G27 wheel that Ed Hewitt's given away for the person that finishes the season with the least amount of incidents, but he has to complete 95% of every race. So, yeah, that's quite a little task right there. Kevin O'Brien 13th, and taking up the rear of the field still is Timothy Lewis in 14th. John Butler trying to get away from Thomas Keene, but it's just not happening right now, folks. Daniel Smallwood now 1.7 seconds back, and he's got company with Stephen Pearson on his tail. The same as Butler's got Thomas Keene on his tail. Looking back on the rest of the field, Scott Brinson goes into 5th place as he gets by John Mushton Jr. Mushton not giving up though. kind of staying with it. Looks like John may have a little bit of damage on that right front corner. May have been into the wall. Let's go down there a little closer. Nope, my mistake. Man, sometimes it looks kind of funny, but I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong car. There's Mushton. Yeah, he's got a little bit of damage. I'd say he's probably tapped the wall just a little. But he's okay. Now David Howard Jr. coming up on him. And Tyler Stanley right behind him. Mark Robertson in 9th. James Lehman closing in on him in 10th. After James blinked out there at the beginning, he was running 2nd, and all of a sudden he just blinked out. Man. And when he come back, he was in 12th. That was really weird. Okay, Sean Butler still in the lead, has led all the laps so far. All 10 of them. They got a long ways to go here, so patience is a virtue, folks. They know they got to be patient with them tires. Tires is going to be a key factor in this race tonight. And I can assure you, every pit stop, at least for the first part of the race, they're going to be taking 4 tires. This track just loves to eat tires up. Flat track like this. And we do have the first caution of the race. Let's go see. Okay, why did it take me to... Takes me to Scott Brinson, but I'm not sure why. I don't see any caution on the track right at the moment, folks. Well, let's get back up here live. That was really kind of weird. I didn't see any Brian Phillips back in. Well, it could have been Brian Phillips because, or Kevin O'Brien maybe. Not sure. And here they come, all coming down pit road, just like I said, folks, they would. Everybody wants them 4 fresh tires, even though, you know, fresh tires are probably not the thing here to go out. You know, they kind of get a little slick for about 4 or 5 laps, and wow, they only got 13 laps on these tires, but everybody wants them fresh tires. Now it's going to be a race off of pit road. Sean Butler out first, and Lehman, I believe, he beat Thomas Keene off the pit road. James Lehman with a fantastic pit stop, a 2-tire change for James Lehman though. He was in and out in 9.5 seconds, so I don't know if that was a good one. 84, 84 got loose, okay. Well, for some reason it didn't take me to him, it took me to Scott. Really weird, but thank you, Tommy. Appreciate that. Okay, still 166 laps to go, folks. Long race ahead of these boys. I don't think the ones that are out here racing are pretty dedicated to this, and they'll put on a good show for y'all. They know how to race these short tracks, and you know they're pretty good at them. So I think we're looking for a good show here. Looks like Sean Butler's opted to start on the outside. Good call. Seems like the outside does seem to fit very well for these guys. So Tommy. Poor Scott. He's not even in here in chat to defend himself. Okay, folks, first caution of the race out on lap 13. We're ready to go back. Green flag racing going to be starting on lap 17. So let's get them wound up here, boys. Yeah, I could imagine, Brandon. That does kind of, I kind of hate that for you, brother. I couldn't come over and see you. You'll have to come in later on here after the race and talk to me, whatever you want to talk to me about. Okay, pace car's in. Butler brings him to the line. Lehman on the inside, and Green is out. Lehman with a good start here, but we know how that outside feels. Keene on the inside of Daniel Smallwood gets Smallwood with a good run on that high side, and he gets a little wiggly. And Lehman still side by side with Sean Butler. Finally, Butler clears him, and Smallwood clears Keene. Scott Brinson in fifth. Going back here, David Howard Jr. getting passed up by Stephen Pearson. Good racing, though. These guys, as you can see just how flat this track is, folks. Definitely a flat one. That David Howard Jr. painted this car up, says thank you Rudy Cummings and MaxSpeedTV. Awesome paint job on that car, and thank you, David. I appreciate that, man. That's really kudos to you for acknowledging the work that I do for you guys so you can race here for free. I appreciate it, man. That's pretty awesome. And also on the back of his car is a special notice. We're going to get down here just a second and check it out. To his buddy Andy that is in the hospital. It says, "Get better soon, Andy," right on the back of his car. So definitely. Shouts out to him. Well, what did you need, Brandon? Is it something that you can talk to me about in here, or maybe not in great detail? But Smallwood goes into second. Lehman goes back to fourth. Keene in third. And look out, boys, because here comes Scott Brinson bearing down on you. These guys have pretty much figured out that black stripe right there in the you don't want to get out of that black stripe in the turns if you can help it. Oh, Scott's up there a little high, but he does have a good line in that black stripe, the black part of it. Oh, Lehman in trouble down across the track, and that brings out a caution, but I don't think that was the only one. It looks like John Mushton Jr. gets spun around too. So let's go back and see what happened to John, because we know what happened to James. Looks like he just got loose coming out of the turn. And so did John Mushton. He tries to keep it off of David Howard, but puts David into the wall. Oh, guys parting seas around him. Robert O'Neill into it. Ouch. Okay, no quick refixes on these cars here, guys. No quick repairs. If you get them junked up, you got to sit on pit road and get them fixed up. This is just like real life. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smallwood, good to see you there. I gave you guys a shout out earlier. I'm not sure if you were in here to hear me, but I'm going to run down through the list again here because got quite a few of them. Special shout out to David Howard Jr.'s friend Andy that is in the hospital. Our prayers go out to him. Hopefully a quick recovery for him. Cameron, Diane, Sharon, Sherelle, Leanna, Dylan, Pat, Logan, Dan, Tom Brander, and a special shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Smallwood that tune in every single race that Daniel runs. They are his parents, and that is very, very, very awesome. My respect to you, Mr. and Mrs. Smallwood, is like through the roof. I mean that. Totally through the roof. There isn't a whole lot of parents that go out and do what you do, and you you understand what Daniel loves the race. So, you know, you backing him and supporting him is just an absolute amazing thing for you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Friday nights, if it's early, Brandon, I have IWCR at, I go live at 10:45 p.m. Eastern for IWCR. Now, if we can be done by 10:15 Eastern, that gives me enough time to get in and do their broadcast. Okay, so yeah, if we could do an earlier one on Friday night, by all means, yes, like 7 o'clock, as long as we're done by 10 o'clock Eastern, that would be great. That gives you 3 hours. I mean, gosh, I would think you should be able to get a race in 3 hours, What league is it, Brandon? Maybe they had asked me before or something. I don't really usually get too awful many requests for Friday night, so that's kind of surprising. I mean, yeah, I'm open, man. I can do for early Friday evenings as long as it don't run in past, like I said, 10:15 p.m. Eastern. We're good to go. It'd be nice if we were done at least by 10 p.m. Eastern. That gives me enough time to get everything switched over and everything. Well, that would be perfect then, Brandon. That would be absolutely perfect. What league is it? Let me know what league it is. And you'll maybe send me an invite to the league so I can join it. That way I can get into the races. What kind of field? How big of a field are you talking? I have all the content, so don't worry. Checkers Out Racing. I've heard of it. Yeah. What kind of, okay, pace car's in, single file restart. I missed that. And green is out. Single file restart means that if they can't run 10 green flag laps without bringing out another caution, then they do go to single file restarts, which is probably a good thing here at this track. Scott Brinson goes into third as he gets by Thomas Keene. So Brinson on the move, started 8th tonight and is up to 3rd. Keene back to 4th, Pearson in 5th. Tyler Stanley, first time we've seen him this close to the front, running in 6th. Lehman still running in the top 10 here in 7th. Hey, Blake. Mark Robertson in 8th. Timothy Lewis 9th. It looks like Kevin O'Brien took it way out there. Not sure. May have had a little bit of a slip, and I think he probably wants to go to the back of the field. I'm not really sure. Robert O'Neill, a couple of laps down. Looks like he's got most of the damage fixed up on his car. But Sean Butler showing the way. Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good field. 15, I like 15. 15 to 20 is a good field. Just like you got right here. When you start getting 30, 35, 40 members in there racing, it just opens the door for a lot of cautions, and I hate to see, good races, good league races with a lot of cautions. Excuse me, I got hiccups. Okay, Thomas Keene gets back by Scott Brinson, and Scott goes back to 4th. As you can see, these guys are really battling with some loose cars out here right now. Pearson up to 5th. Oh, Smallwood way out in the turn, and Keene going to take that position away from him. And, Daniel into the wall. Scott Brinson on the inside of him. Let's see if Daniel can save grace there. No, Scott's going to drive by and take over that third position from Daniel. So this is the highest Scott's been, so he's coming along. Like that Chicago paint scheme. He's into the hockey really big time, Scott is. Yeah, that would, if there's any way you could possibly come in and talk to me after this race, Brandon, man, I'd love it. And we can start getting things ironed out. But yeah, if you, we can talk price and how many, a race season depends on how much I charge you. And, you know, I'm not going to go into the details in chat here because it's really none of anybody else's business. If you want to know the pricing, come into TeamSpeak and I'll tell you. We'll haggle it out. I give you the same deal I give every other league out there. Lehman back into sixth as he got by Tyler Stanley. Tyler in seventh. David Howard Jr., the one I really kind of thought would be up there a little higher, but David likes to kind of play it safe. You know, it is early into the race. They still got 149 laps to go. So he's just kind of playing it easy right now, keeping his car out of trouble. That's the main thing here. Keeping the damage off of that car is going to be a key here tonight. Brian Phillips, again, not to repeat myself, but the only one that is in the running, still in the running for the G27 wheel that Ed's given away to one lucky league member, and goes by how many incidents that they occur, which it doesn't really matter to him because he's the only one that's still in the running for it. You have to complete 95% of every race, and we're running a 34 race season, and have the least amount of caution, or the least amount of incidents, excuse me, not cautions, least amount of incidents. And he is still in the running for that wheel. So that's pretty amazing. And then we're in like, this is like race 12 or something, I think, or 13. So that's pretty amazing for him to be the only one that's still in the running for it. Kevin O'Brien in 13th. Robert O'Neill 14th. Was caught up into that wreck earlier and has got himself 2 laps down, but no need to worry about that, Robert. You'll get back on the lead lap. Cautions will fly and you'll be able to get that way by, so you'll get back on the lead lap. Thomas Keene in for the lead, and he is in the lead when a caution comes out, folks, and it looks like James Lehman. Whoa! Daniel Smallwood just barely missed Lehman. That was wild right there, folks. Matter of fact, you know, I think we're going to let's go to Daniel Smallwood's car, and let's watch out his windshield at this and just see how close he was to that. Right here, Lehman gets loose, and he is starting to turn to go in front of Daniel Smallwood. Daniel locks him down, steers left, and clears him. Holy smokes. Now, you talk about a good piece of driving by Daniel right there, I'm telling you. Okay, leader bringing everybody down pit road, folks. All the leaders, everybody coming down pit road. That's good news for Robert O'Neill. He'll get one of his wave bys as we see everybody coming down pit road. Oh, that's no problem, Brandon. That's no problem. I have all the content. Yeah, it's not a problem. However you run your league, brother, that's fine with me. Kevin O'Brien stays out and has still not technically led a lap yet. Yeah, that's not a problem, brother. Whatever you want to do is fine with me. Yes, count me in. We'll haggle about price if you can hang out in TeamSpeak. You have permissions to move around. Just don't go down there and bother the drivers as they're driving. But, okay, well, technically, Kevin O'Brien is not going to lead that lap. And that will give the lead up to Thomas Keene, so he gets a bonus point for leading the lap. Finally. John Butler second, Stephen Pearson third, Daniel Smallwood fourth, Tyler Stanley in fifth, Mark Robertson moves up to sixth, Timothy Lewis seventh, David Howard Jr. eighth, John Mushton ninth, and Scott Brinson back to 10th, having a very slow pit time. Brian Phillips will be 11th. Not sure, maybe he's 10th. Yeah, Scott Brinson goes back to 11th. Maybe he got caught speeding on pit road. I'm not sure. Kevin O'Brien 12th. James Lehman last one on the lead lap. And Robert O'Neill did get one of his laps back. So now he's only one lap down, folks. Good news for him. Yeah, good news for Robert. He gets one of his laps back. That's good. That's on the road to recovery right there, folks. Okay, 38 laps into this. I'm not sure if they're going to do, I believe they're going to have to do the single file restart again because they were inside the 10 laps since the last caution. That's an kind of an admin rule. It's a kind of admin discretion. I'm not really sure if it's a written rule. I think we just kind of use it at admin's discretion. Okay. That's a bummer for him. He was running so good, but it's all right. He's got lots of laps to go. Lots and lots of laps to go here. I'm really surprised that everybody's still in the race. This is really awesome. Nobody's gotten wrecked out yet. I think everybody's showing some pretty good patience out here. The ones that are slipping and sliding, though, are just been self-spins. Nobody's been getting into each other. So that's good. Good news for that. Okay, pace car's in. Thomas Keene gets them going. Green, green, green. Kind of a late start there, but wow. Green flag was green long before Thomas hit the gas. Sleeping at the wheel. Pearson in third. Smallwood. Oh, bears it down right there, but Tyler Stanley. Tyler used to driving these Xfinity cars, and he's doing a really good job staying there right in the top 5. That's awesome. Mark Robertson coming from 12th place and moving into 6th. And look at here, Timothy Lewis. Started 17th and running in 7th. Man, they do get points for being the biggest mover in the race, folks. So I'm not sure who that'll be until the race is over. It could be Timothy Lewis as long as he stays in here. And Ed and I did pick our numbers. We are giving away 4 money prizes for tonight's race because we forgot to pick the numbers last week. So we have our numbers picked here. I have them wrote down. He picked a high number and a low number, and I picked a high number and a low number. So if people come into those places, they will receive $10. We do that for all of our league members. So we'll be giving away $40 here to 4 lucky people tonight. All right, Sean Butler in second, which has led the first 36 laps of the race, and now Thomas Keene is out front, and he's led the last 5. And it looks like he was definitely one of the fast guys in practice, fastest in qualifying. He was our pole sitter, and now he's finally captured a bonus point for leading a lap. Now his goal is to try to get out there and lead the most laps. Stephen Pearson third, Smallwood fourth, Tyler Stanley 5th, Mark Robertson 6th, Timothy Lewis 7th, David Howard Jr. has worked his way into 8th. Him and Timothy Lewis are teammates, by the way. Not that we have teams, but they are just close friends, close teammates, and that's cool. You know, when it comes down to drafting on, you know, super speedways and stuff like that, those two work really close together. James Lehman in 9th. Scott Brinson now up to 10th. John Mushton Jr. in 11th. Oh, who was that that spun? Timothy Lewis. But no caution. He gets it going. And that's going to put him back to the tail end of the field on the lead lap, though. Robert O'Neill trying whatever he's got to do. Just going to be patient to try to get back on that lead lap. 136 to go, folks. Timothy Lewis now 11.5 seconds behind the leader and falling. Got to kind of take it easy here to let them tires cool off a little bit. He's about a half a lap behind the leaders right now. Looking back here, Tyler Stanley. I don't like that camera. I hate that camera. Mark Robertson in 5th. This guy's being patient. One of our Canadian buddies there, Mark Robertson, wasn't sure if he was going to race tonight, but he's got the red maple leaf car into 5th place. I think he's going to be happy with coming in here and putting on a good show. He's got Daniel Smallwood behind him, which usually Daniel Smallwood's up toward the front of the field, but he had a little slip there and got himself mired back into 6th. He'll work that high side maybe and try to get around Mark. I'm not sure. Mark's really actually kind of taken over that line. Daniel really loose. Mushton Jr. loose coming out of turn 2 and is going to lose. No, I guess he doesn't lose a position. Robert O'Neill just drove by him. Robert O'Neill is the only one out there a lap down. Okay, Brian Phillips in 10th. Kevin O'Brien 11th. Timothy Lewis 12th. And Scott Brinson on pit road. And what? Okay. Maybe Scott's out of the race or something. I don't know exactly what happened to Scott there. Let me see if I can maybe get him down here and talk with him. Let me see if I can find him. Scott, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
What happened there, brother?
It just broke loose on me. I went down, hit the inside wall, and tore up the steering, and then the motor blew up on me.
Oh, they're going to be able to fix it.
Nah, it's done.
Oh, man. Well, stay in the server. The only way you're going to be eligible for $10 if you stay in the server, if you're the lucky number.
Yeah, I'm going to probably go do some other racing.
Oh, you're not going to stay in there then?
No, I'm going to go do some other racing. Well, actually, it looks, 32 minutes of required repairs, so.
Ouch.
Yeah, I'm not going to wait around.
Okay. All right. Well, sorry, man. Wasn't your night, man. You were running good, too.
It happens. I don't feel well, so it's just lost concentration for just a second.
Get the feeling better. That's the most important thing, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right, Rudy. Have a good night, man.
You too. All right, Scott, not feeling well. Going to take his car behind pit road. Keene still out front. Pearson now in 3rd. And Tyler Stanley 4th. Ooh, Daniel Smallwood finally getting by Mark Robertson going into 5th. And look out, Mark, because here comes David Howard Jr. and James Lehman. Them two keeping the pressure on Mark. Yeah, that's a bummer, Tommy. We've all been there, done that, though. Man, you hit that inside wall really hard, and man, it's a... I'm not sure if I can find that in my events here. I might be able to find that. Let me see if I can find that here. Nope, not in my events. Ha, alright. Well, anyhow. Sometimes it'll list that in the events that somebody hit, but John Mushton Jr. with a little damage on his car into 9th. Brian Phillips 10th. And Kevin O'Brien, our Aussie buddy, in 11th. Timothy Lewis 12th. Last one on the lead lap. Robert O'Neill does go into 13th. Still one lap down. Wants to get back on the lead lap. If another caution comes out, he will be the only one out there that will get the way by, providing he stays on the track. But Keene out here showing the way, and you can see the tires are starting to fall off a little. They're taking a little bit wider berth around this place. Sean Butler, which led the first 36 laps of this race, now in second. And I see just a tick of damage on the right front corner of Sean's car. So he's been into the wall as well. Interesting. Pearson in third, chasing Butler. He's running about a second and a half behind Sean Butler. And Tyler Stanley giving him a fit here. Let's ride along with Tyler for a minute here. Tyler being real gentle on that throttle. Let's see if we can take a look back here. Daniel Smallwood way back behind Tyler. About 3.5 seconds behind Tyler right now. 6.3 seconds behind the leader. Keene looking back to Butler. And it looks like they did get back by Robert O'Neill again. Robert may have pitted. No, I'm sorry. He is still one lap down. But he's really not that far ahead of the leaders, I don't believe. Let me see if I can find him on the track here. Yeah, I think. Yeah, he's about a straightaway, I think, ahead of the leaders. I see smoke up ahead. I don't know who that was. Somebody smoking, I believe. Doing a little crop dusting. It looked like Kevin O'Brien on pit road. Wanting to take 4 tires. And it looks like he's going to maybe sit there and try to get some damage fixed up. Keene out ahead by 3/4 of a second over Sean Butler. This is kind of unusual. Usually we see Sean out here kicking everybody's butt, but there's still a lot of race to go, and keeping it, clean for the rest of this race is going to be the key for Butler to get by Keene. As now he's closed up to 1/2 second behind Keene. Thomas did kind of go a little wide in that turn, and that cost him some pretty valuable time. Pearson and Stanley back here running in 3rd and 4th. Daniel Smallwood 5th. And David Howard Jr. now in 6th as he got by James Lehman. Lehman running in 7th. John Mushton Jr. in 8th. Now the one that I see here, Mark Robertson, back in 11th, is really not far ahead of the leader here, folks. The leader right behind him, and that would put Mark a lap down, and it looks like Mark's been into the wall. He's got some pretty serious nose damage on the right side of that car. And it looks like he gives way to the leaders. Goes way up to the high side, lets the leaders go through the racing groove into the turns, and Mark Robertson goes a lap down. Next one in line would be Timothy Lewis. He's about 9 seconds ahead of the leaders, about a straightaway. So he would be the next one the leaders would be looking to get by. But everybody being pretty patient out here right now. And caution is on the track, folks. Let's see where it's at. Oh, Daniel Smallwood spinning. Didn't hit a thing. Good job, Daniel. Wow. Loses a couple of positions, but not bad. Okay, he gets her going again. And let's see, Sean Butler, I believe, No, I think Thomas Keene is our leader, so we're going to see if Thomas brings them down pit road here. I don't know, maybe Sean did get by him. I guess he did. Okay. Well, we'll see here when they all come down pit road, folks. So how's everybody doing tonight? Everybody having a good night? Enjoying the race here? Hopefully the quality's good. I'm hoping everybody does enjoy it.
What are our strategies to be the best car here today?
I need to race to get my fix. And everybody wants to go fast in cars, slide around, have fun. I get to do that and I get paid to do it.
It's pretty intense after you fire up the engine and you take off.
You always have that stomach-wrenching feeling that you have to have everything perfect.
You're always striving to achieve dominance, and that's what's fun about the sport.
The competition is so tough that the difference between greatness and mediocrity is 0.2 of a second.
Can he snap?
A little break there. Kind of give you something to watch and listen to. We'll continue that here in a minute. Oh, cool, Ryan. Hey, good to see you there, buddy. Long time no see, man. Always good to see some of our older members that used to race here at Maximum Speed Racing. Good to see them in chat, and glad you're enjoying it. Keep you company at work, huh? Hey, Deb. Good to see you in there too, Deb. Okay, so it looks like Sean Butler going to be starting first, Thomas Keene second, Stephen Pearson third, Tyler Stanley fourth, David Howard Jr. moves up to fifth, Daniel Smallwood sixth after bringing out that caution, John Mushton Jr. in seventh, Timothy Lewis eighth, Brian Phillips ninth, James Lehman 10th, Mark Robertson saving Mark from going a lap down. And Robert O'Neill trying to see if Robert is going to stay out. But yes, he did stay out, but he didn't get his lap back. He must have pitted, not worrying about getting the lap back just yet. Kevin O'Brien looks like he has retired from the race. Back up front as they all start to double up here, folks. We're ready to go green flag racing again. That was caution number 4, by the way. And we're going to be starting here on lap 68. We'll have 113 to go, folks. Well, thank you, Deb. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate all the viewers here at MaxSpeedTV. Okay, pace car is about to head down pit road. Makes that hard left turn and front row ready to go. Green, green, green. Boy, good start by both of them guys in that front row. Oh, Sean Butler into the outside wall. Just a scratch, I think. But he's already been there once. He doesn't need that again. Thomas Keene cuts across the nose of him. Takes over the lead. Wow, you couldn't have fit a piece of paper between them two bumpers, I'm telling you. That was some close racing right there. Tyler Stanley starting to put the pressure on Sean Butler, and Daniel Smallwood on the outside. Oh, we got another caution here. Let's see. Oh, we got a big old pile up here. Ouch. Let's go see what happened. That looked pretty ugly. Ooh. I've seen about 4 or 5 cars getting into that, so. It's like Lehman getting into the back of John Mushton Jr., and that gathers up Timothy Lewis. Oh, my word. Mark Robertson gets a piece of that. Oh, man. Bad news for these guys. Well, there's going to be a few of them on pit road now, folks, trying to get damage fixed up. Thomas Keene back up front. Thank you, Mr. Smallwood. Oh yeah, Daniel, I say this a lot, and it's the truth. Daniel has quite the fanship there, I'm telling you. He's got a lot of fans in iRacing rooting him on, so. Yeah, definitely. Well, I was going to say maybe we could get one of these guys down here and talk with them while we're under caution. So let me see if I can find... Tell you what, let's talk to Daniel. We haven't talked to Daniel in a while, so let's talk to Daniel. Daniel Smallwood, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Rudy.
Well, what's going on, Daniel? It's getting a little slick out there, from what I'm understanding. You're going to be restarting in 4th place. What do you got for them leaders, man? You haven't led a lap yet tonight.
Well, if we get the car right, where it ain't so loose, we could probably get there lead last. But I think the way it is right now, we're close to the leaders, but we're not there where we want to be. But we'll see where we can get.
Well, we were just talking a lot of the people in chat here of the fanship that you have, Daniel. Probably the biggest fan base of any driver that I know in iRacing. And I'll tell you what, that says a lot about you, Daniel. You know, you're a great young man, and you know your mom and dad support you. That's really awesome, and you have so many fans out there supporting you and rooting you on. So, man, I'll tell you, that's really great. And we wish you the best of luck tonight, Daniel. Go get them and get up there and get this win tonight.
Yeah, 10-4 ready. Every race I do is dedicated to the fans.
All right. All right. Okay, let's see if Daniel can continue here with a dominance or maybe get a win. I watched him win the other night, and he was really excited about his victory. Who was that? Let's see, that was... Gosh, I don't even remember. IWCR, maybe? IWCR, he got his first win there or something, I guess. And boy, just a great racer. And I think that really says a lot for why he has so many fans. He's just such a great racer. He plays it cool, doesn't get angry about things. He realizes it's just a sim. There's no real life things going on here, so... Well, I'm not sure, but it looks like maybe Steven Pearson may be out of the race. I don't know. We don't have a whole lot of drivers left in the race. A lot of them on pit road. James Lehman, John Mushton, Mark Robertson, Scott Brinson, all on pit road. And I think Steven Pearson's out. Well, pace car's in. Single file restart. Green, green, green. Tyler Stanley right there at 3rd, Smallwood 4th, David Howard Jr. 5th, Brian Phillips up to 6th, Brian 2nd in the points. Just Mr. Consistency, keeping that car out of trouble and just rolling into a good finish each and every week and completing 95% of the laps and having the least amount of incidents is going to win him that wheel. Timothy Lewis in 7th with a lot of damage, but still out there racing. Robert O'Neill in 8th. Mark Robertson in 9th. And again, like I said, Steven Pearson looks like he's taking it behind the wall. Well, the leader's coming up on Mark Robertson really quick. Mark not up to full speed with a lot of damage. Keene taking it real wide in the turn. Butler right on his tail. Tyler Stanley 3rd and Smallwood 4th. I'm gonna go up here with Keen and let's watch this all going around about him in the back. Looks like Smallwood taking a peek on the inside of Tyler Stanley for position. And not gonna happen that time, as he got a fall in behind Tyler. As they go by Mark Robertson yet again, putting Mark 3 laps down. And it looks like the field has really gotten shortened up here, folks. That wreck took out a lot of good drivers. But like I said, they got to stay in the server in order to be eligible for that money. Ed and I drew the secret numbers, and if you leave the server, that takes you out of eligibility for the money. So, got to stay in the server, folks. I'm not sure if I could maybe... Alright, looking back from Thomas Keene, our leader, Butler closing in on him. Guys seem to be hooked up really well. Now Smallwood on the inside of Tyler Stanley again. That would be for the 3rd position. We know the outside line usually gets better grip than the inside line. Let's see if he can complete this pass. It's the best battle on the track right now. David Howard Jr. right there looking on, waiting to see what them two are going to do. Tyler Stanley's going to make Daniel work for it, I can tell you that. He's not going to just hand it to him. And it's not going to happen. Smallwood falls back into 3rd. Now David Howard Jr. on the inside of Daniel. They're side by side, and wow, clear. We got somebody smoking up there. Looks like Timothy Lewis smoking. It looks like he's going to be heading back into pit road. He'll have to get more repair done on that car because he's smoking like a freight train. And he's back in 8th place, a couple of laps down. Keene and Butler up front. Robert O'Neill in 7th, 1 lap down, but he's still in the race, and that's what it's going to take here, folks. Just remember, they got to stay in the server to be eligible for that money. Yeah, we forgot to draw the numbers last week, so we drew 4 numbers this week. And so 4 lucky people will get some money, but we don't tell anybody what them secret numbers are. I have them wrote down right here, and Ed has them wrote down, and nobody else knows what they are. Well, Tommy Lee does, because Tommy was in there. He was in the room when and we don't usually do that, because we just want it between Ed and I, but Tommy's our admin, so hopefully he's not going to tell anybody, you know, and it doesn't really matter. We just don't want people racing for that position. We want them to go out and have fun and race each other. You know, don't worry about that money. Just that's kind of a gift to you. That helps you, you know, if you need to buy a track or buy a car or something like that. Hey, $10 is better than a sharp stick in the eye any day. Keene tying the number of laps led with Sean Butler. Both of them have led 41, but Keene's in the lead right now. He slips a little in the turn. So that let Butler close right up within 2/10 of him. Don't want to slip too many more times there, Thomas. And he beats Butler right now for the most laps led. All right, so back here a little further, Tyler Stanley now 1.4 seconds behind them two. Daniel Smallwood in 4th. David Howard Jr. 5th. Brian Phillips in 6th. And Robert O'Neill 7th. Mark Robertson 8th. Still plugging away out there. And it looks like everybody from there on back is either on pit road or they have left the server. Stephen Pearson and Kevin O'Brien out of server, so they will not be eligible for the money. I believe they've left. Stephen Pearson actually fell out, and Kevin O'Brien disconnected, so there you have it. Unless Stephen Pearson can come back, he won't be eligible for that money. Well, back up front, Keene. Only got a few drivers left in the race here, folks. About 8 racers on the track. Timothy Lewis on pit road trying to get damage fixed up. James Lehman on pit road. John Mushton Jr. on pit road. And Scott Brinson on pit road. So, good deal. Keene leading. Let's ride along with Sean Butler here and we'll crank it up. How's that? Okay. Did a little crank up for you there so you can hear what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like inside them cars with them guys. Tyler Stanley closing in on them, and we have a caution, folks. Let's see. Daniel Smallwood going around again. Oh, no. And I don't know that. Not sure. That's going to be up to the admins. If that was his second caution, he may be parked for the night. I don't know. I'm not going to say that. I shouldn't even have said that. My bad. Okay, let's see if the leaders are going to bring them down pit road. We've got 91 to go, so we are at the halfway mark, folks. And this is caution number 6. Much better race than I even anticipated, so awesome. So let's see if Thomas brings them all down pit road, and then it's going to be a race off of pit road. Everybody that's on the lead lap entering pit road. As we see 4 of them already still sitting on pit road there. Scott Brinson, John Mushton Jr., James Lehman, and Timothy Lewis. Okay, let's see who wins this race off of pit road. All right, looks like Thomas Keene. They come out just about like they went in. Very good. Smallwood's still sitting on pit road. Brian Phillips in 6th. Daniel might have got the old "you are out of the race" from the admins, because I'm not really sure if that was his second caution he brought out or not. I really don't know. Like I said, I probably shouldn't even say because I don't know. Mark Robertson coming down pit road getting his car serviced. He's got a lot of damage on his car, so it might be a good opportunity for him to try to get some more repair done on that. Let me see if I can get let's see if I can get Sean Butler down here to talk with him. If I can find him. Sean Butler, you got a copy?
I got you, Rudy.
Well, man, you do sound a lot different with that new mic. Well, does Thomas has been giving you a little bit of a fit up there, but are you really trying, Sean? Because I know this is really kind of like not your usual thing that you're doing is riding in second, and I do know that you have a little bit of damage on that right front corner.
Yeah, I'm biding my time here. I think Thomas is driving a little too hard, and if we can get this thing stretched out to a long green flag run, I think I'll be able to get by him.
Well, how's your car feeling with that little bit of damage? Is it even bothering it at all?
Oh no, car feels good. Just rubbing a little bit of paint off of it, just trying to make it faster.
Okay. All right. Well, you're about ready to go green here, Sean. Good luck, and hopefully we'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks, Rudy.
Okay, let's see what they're going to do here, folks. We don't have a whole lot of folks in the race yet. Man, been a pretty rough one for the guys. Some of the guys getting wrecked out early, man. Just unfortunate. Mark Robertson's still in it, though, in 8th place. Daniel Smallwood, I believe, may be out of the race, folks. We do have that 2 caution rule. If you bring out 2 cautions in a single race, then you're parked for the remainder of that race. And I do believe that was Daniel's 2nd caution. Okay, green flag is out again. Let's see how this is going to end up. Tyler Stanley in 3rd. David Howard Jr. 4th. Brian Phillips up to 5th now. Goes way up the hill. Way up the hill. And that let Robert O'Neill is back on the lead lap, goes into 5th. I knew he'd get back on the lead lap, just got to be patient. Mark Robertson in 8th, but it won't be long here. He'll be passing up Daniel, and he'll be going, yes, he just did pass him up and goes into 7th. So 7th place, hey, that's pretty good for having all that damage and come out of this thing 7th place out of 14 cars that started the race. Not a big field tonight, man. Really kind of disappointing. Cars getting spread out a little bit. David Howard Jr. in behind Tyler Stanley. The front 4 just pretty much nose to tail, trying to get laps chewed down. 85 to go here, folks. Tyler having a great run here tonight. Started 13th, now in 3rd. So great run for him. Butler hanging on here, trying to just hang with Keene for right now. He says he might have enough to get by him there at the end. If they could get some good long green flag runs, he might have enough to get by Keene. Keene's really driving hard to try to stay ahead of Butler, according to Sean. Maybe we'll talk to Thomas here in a little bit if they have another caution and see what his rendition of this story is. Tyler Stanley closes right up on Sean Butler, and Tyler is good in these Xfinity cars. I got to tell you, he is really good in these cars. Taking another peek, but a little bit loose coming out of the turn. Keene up front now, coming to the line, going to be lead leading for 58 laps as he crosses the line. Butler sound like he tapped the wall there maybe a little bit, or maybe that was Tyler. Might have been Tyler Stanley tapped the wall a little bit. You guys try to use the wall there as a little bit of a crutch. Just bounce off of it and keep going. Now, that's not a bad thing. Robert O'Neill in 5th place. Good comeback for Robert tonight. Started 7th. Got tangled up there in a wreck early in the race. Got a couple laps down. Now he's back on the lead lap. Getting away by each and every time. So good job by him. Brian Phillips, the last one on the lead lap in 6th place. And Mark Robertson still plugging away in 7th. Good job, Mark. Keep going, brother. Keep going. These four just kind of spread out just enough between them in case one of them slips. The other one has a little enough room to kind of check up and don't get involved in it. So that's a good deal. Robert O'Neill back here got clean air in front of him pretty much, so he can just run his own line and do what he wants. Nobody challenging him. Same way with Brian Phillips. Brian just trying to run a Mr. Consistency right there. Brian Phillips. Staying with it. He's so consistent. He is 2nd in the points coming into tonight. So that's pretty amazing. I can actually, if you give me a second here, I can call up the points for you. And we'll see what they look like. Now this is coming into tonight, folks. Okay, Sean Butler ahead of Brian Phillips. I'm getting there. Give me a second. Okay, he's got a... dang. A 31-point lead over Brian Phillips. 3rd place, David Howard Jr. is 53 points back. 4th place goes to Cody Griffin, but Cody out for the remainder of the season. William Kirk did not show up again this week. Daniel Smallwood tied with him, so Daniel will move up 1 position. He'd be actually in the 5th place, not tied for 5th. Timothy Lewis 7th, Kevin O'Brien 8th, Rush in 9th, and Brian Wortman, that did not come in tonight, in 10th. That's coming into tonight, folks. So Mr. Consistency there, Brian Phillips, doing a good job. Back up front. Well, I'm not sure, but if we, okay. I was going to say, you got to stay in the race. You got to stay in the server, folks. If you want the money, you got to stay in it. And let's see if I could get, maybe get somebody down here, if I can find... Well, I don't even see James Lehman. I was going to have him come into the booth with me here, but I don't even see him in here. So, oh well. Butler still in second. Tyler Stanley third. Just kind of boring right now, folks. Nothing really going on. David Howard Jr. in fourth. Robert O'Neill fifth. Brian Phillips sixth. And Mark Robertson seventh. Mark running about 5 laps down, but staying in the race, and that's what it's going to take. Not sure why James left, because James, if you can hear me, get back in TeamSpeak. Okay, Brandon, we'll talk about it later. If you're around tomorrow, I'll be around all day in here. That's fine. We'll get together, man. That's, you know, I don't know when your season is going to start or when, you know, whatever, but when is your season going to start? Oh, brand new leader, Sean Butler taking over the lead now. Keene back to second. Keene's led 69 laps. Sean Butler's led 42, coming to 43. John Mushton Jr. back out on the track. All right. Scott Brinson back out on the track. Yay! These guys are, man, they figured it out. They can pick up some positions just by getting back in the race. Man, I guess they're listening to me. Good deal. All you got to do is just go out and putsy around there. You don't have to race for any position. You can pick up a lot of positions on that track by just getting back in it. John Mushton Jr. could pick up 2 more positions and move into 8 this Friday. Wow, okay, that's kind of cutting it close, but yeah, we can do it. But we do definitely need to get together. John Mushton Jr. getting out of the way of the leaders, letting them go by. So those guys sat on pit road long enough to get their cars fixed up, and they're back in the race. I'm really kind of surprised Timothy Lewis hasn't got his car back into the race. I don't know, maybe I can get him down here to talk to me. Let me find him. James. Yeah, I'm glad you went back in there because, you know, like I say, you leave the server, you don't get the money.
Yes, that's what I remembered right when I left. I was like, wait, I can still get something. So yeah. I jumped right back in.
There you go. Well, that's a good save. So, I mean, I'm not going to tell you what numbers they are, but, you know, you got to be in the server to get the money.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
So.
All right.
I'm sticking around and waiting.
All right. I'm going to see if I can get a hold of, what's his name up here? Let's see. Timothy Lewis. Tim, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Tim, I'm glad to see you're sticking around here, making yourself eligible for the money, you know. I hate for you guys have to stay in the server, but it kind of makes it a little bit more like team involved. You know, you're supporting the league by staying in the server, and whether you're Facebooking it or popping popcorn and watching a movie or whatever, you know, I don't care. But yeah, I just was glad. But your car not able to get fixed up and get back out there, Timothy, at all?
I'm down to 9 minutes repair now. I had like 20, 25, and there's actually an hour and 36 of optional repairs, so I tore up pretty bad.
Wow. Well, I mean, you know, the thing of it is just getting back in there, because you got John Mushton Jr. already going by you for one position, and Scott Brinson's back out on the track, and he may be able to get by you as well. Just drop you back more, you know?
Yeah, I'm just kind of sitting here riding it out. I need that money, Rudy.
There you go. That's a good attitude to have, Tim. Okay, buddy. Well, sorry you had a bad luck night tonight. Are you looking forward to next week? I know this week's been kind of rough, just a rough race all around. You know, the cars are very, very loose out here, from what I'm watching.
Yeah, I'm terrible here. Just try to get through the night here.
There you go, buddy. Good attitude, good attitude. All right. Well, I'll let you go. You can get up here with your buddies, and let's see where you were in with. Okay, I got you. Okay, so yeah, that would be fine. Yep, yeah, just shoot me your PM or something, or yeah, just shoot me your number, and I'll you know, text you when I get done here, and yeah, I just need to know how long your season is. How many races? How many races do you plan on for the season there, Brandon? Well, Scott's picked up one position already, so he is up to 13th, folks. He's out here just pounding away, just trying to get going again. He'd actually hit the wall enough that it kind of blew his motor, so spent half an hour on pit road getting it fixed up, and it could catch him up a couple of positions. Mark Robertson in 7th, plugging away with a beat-up car, a rushed-up car, as we call it. We got 6 cars on the lead lap, with Brian Phillips, the last one on the lead lap, in 6th. Robert O'Neill in 5th. David Howard Jr. 4th. Tyler Stanley 3rd, hanging on to. Okay, yeah, just shoot me your number. That's fine. Thomas Keene in 2nd, and they're all chasing Sean Butler now. He still has not led as many laps as Thomas Keene, but if he stays out there, he's only right now is only 14 laps short of that. Yeah, just send your number there, and matter of fact, I can turn my phone on here, and I'll send you a text. As soon as you give me your number, I'll send you a text, and then you'll have my number, and 7 races? Okay. That's kind of a short season. Is that 510? 510 is the area code? I can't make that out. 518, okay. What was up with the smiley face there, Brandon? That's kind of cool. How'd you do that? That's cool. Alright, as soon as my phone gets started up here, I'll send you a text real quick. Or here, I can just send you, I'll just send you back my number. There you go. There's my number. I'll send you a text here. But we're still going to have to get together. I mean, do you have any like team logos or anything like that, or league logos or anything that you'd want me to use? Okay, yeah, yeah, we could, you'll just have to send that to me. Well, between now and then, if you can come in here in TeamSpeak, we can get together and do more about it, but, okay, Keen back in second now, 1.3 seconds behind the leader, and Tyler Stanley in third, closing up on Keen, staying right there with him. David Howard Jr. now 5.6 seconds back in fourth. Robert O'Neill still in fifth. Brian Phillips sixth. Mark Robertson seventh. John Mushton Jr. out there, got his car fixed up, running 38 laps down, but he's in 8th place. Scott Brinson goes into 11th now as he's back out, getting them valuable points. He can pick up a couple of more positions here if he can pass Timothy Lewis and Daniel Smallwood. That'll put him into possibly 9th place. He could be looking at that. We got 47 to go here. He should be able to do that easily. Okay, Keen now pulls away from Tyler Stanley in third. I don't know, my smartphone's kind of acting dumb tonight. I've sent you 2 messages, Brandon, but it just sit here, it just says sending. So, I know it's, I don't know. Well, just, I guess you'll get them when you get them. But I sent you 2 messages. If you could text me back, and now that I gave you my number here on TeamSpeak, send me a text and see if I get it. Keen, 1.5 seconds behind. Yeah, I'm probably using most of my bandwidth here. I'm on Wi-Fi at home, and I'm probably using most of my bandwidth to send you these texts, but you'll get them eventually. Keene, 2 seconds behind Butler now. Tyler Stanley, 2.9 seconds back. David Howard Jr. in fourth, 7.8 seconds back. Robert O'Neill in fifth. Brian Phillips, sixth. And Brian not far from going a lap down. He's only about 4 or 5 seconds ahead of the leader. Mark Robertson in seventh, plugging away. John Mushton Jr. eighth. Timothy Lewis back out on the track. Yay! Running in 10th, trying to save what he can. He's got about another 10 laps to go, and he will pass up Daniel Smallwood for ninth place. Scott Brinson in 11th. He's picked up 3 positions just by getting back out there, and he'll probably be picking up a couple, well, about one more here, possibly. David Howard Jr. getting by Tyler Stanley. Tyler coming down pit road. This could be his final pit stop of the day right here. 39 to go. Had to back up in his pit stall 2 times. Ouch. That hurt. Going to be a 4-tire change for Tyler. He gives up that track position. And he's away, coming off of pit road now. He'll be back in 6th place, 1 lap down, but everybody else is going to have to stop too. And it looks like Thomas Keene entering pit road. He comes to a screeching halt. Let's see what he does. He gives up 2nd place. Four-tire change for Thomas. He was our pole sitter today, and he's away. We're waiting to see if anybody else is going to come down pit road. Butler staying out so far. David Howard Jr. now in 2nd place, 9.5 seconds behind Butler. Robert O'Neill, which was 2 laps down earlier, is now up to 3rd. Brian Phillips in 4th. Thomas Keene 1 lap down in 5th. He comes up on Timothy Lewis there to pass up Timothy. Timothy running in 10th. Tyler Stanley in 6th. Mark Robertson in 7th. John Mushton Jr. 8th. Daniel Smallwood on pit road in 9th place. I had to park it for the night. Timothy Lewis in 10th. And Scott Brinson 11th. The only ones left out there on the track. James Lehman sitting on pit road. Wants that money. Well, we got 32 laps to go, folks. So I've not seen Butler come down. Well, I'm not sure if he's going to try to make it. I doubt he's going to try to make it the rest of the way, but David Howard Jr. in second. Robert O'Neill in third. Brian Phillips stopped now, and he is 1 lap down in 4th place. Thomas Keene in 5th. And he's bearing down on Brian Phillips there. And possibly could pass him, I'm not really sure. Tyler Stanley in 6th. Mark Robertson 7th. John Mushton Jr. 8th. Timothy Lewis 9th. And Scott Brinson in about another 3 laps, 2 or 3 laps, will pick up the 10th position from Daniel Smallwood. Butler still out in the front. Looks like Robert O'Neill stopped. He will be, actually, no, I'm sorry, he didn't stop. He just goes a lap down. Butler just on a roll out here. 28 laps to go, lapping cars left and right as he goes by Scott Brinson. Scott goes by Daniel Smallwood. David Howard Jr. 10.2 seconds behind Butler in 2nd place. Thomas Keene now he gets by Tyler Stanley to go into 3rd. Tyler back to 4th. Brian Phillips in 5th. Robert O'Neill 6th. Just now coming off a pit road. Mark Robertson 7th. John Mushton Jr. 8th. Timothy Lewis 9th. Scott Brinson in 10th. The only 10 that are still on the track, folks, so. Right now I see at least 3 folks that will get $10. One of the other 2 have left the server. The secret number driver in that position left the server, so they will not be eligible for the money. Butler, 25 laps to go. Is he going to stay out? Have enough fuel to make it to the end? Daniel, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Rudy.
Well, I know you brought out 2 cautions tonight. Rule says when you do, you got to park it. I know that's probably disheartening. It's going to put you back in 11th place. Don't look like you're going to finish any worse than that. But you were one of the secret number guys to get $10 tonight by finishing 11th.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So if you could just stay in the server or something, or stay in, TeamSpeak, and so I can make sure you get that money at the end here. But thank you for staying in, and because somebody else, or one of the other guys, the other secret number, one of the guys left, so he will not be eligible for that money.
Oh wow!
So, but 3 of you will be, and all it takes is just staying in there. I know you can't go do something else or you can't go race somewhere else, but it's kind of to support the league, you know. You got to support your fellow racers that you've been racing all night with, and you know, give them support that you're still supporting them out there trying their best to do a great job, you know, in racing.
They're putting on a great show right now too.
Yes, sir. This is pretty good. Now, do you think Sean Butler's got enough fuel to make it the rest of the way?
Thomas asked him, and he said he's good on fuel.
Wow, that's
he said
awesome.
He's been really saving.
That's awesome. And I'm assuming probably David Howard. Nope, David Howard's coming down pit road. He actually can afford to stop, so he may have been a little bit short on fuel. I'm going to watch him and see if he takes any tires here. I know I would, but you know, I'm sure he doesn't want to give up that track position. But nope, stop for fuel only, and he's out of there. Good deal. Well, he gets passed up by Thomas Keene. Keene goes into second now. Well, I just wanted to thank you for kind of hanging around so you can, you know, get that money, because I know you missed out on it a couple months ago. You left and you were eligible for the money and you didn't get it. So, hey, $10 is better than a sharp stick in the eye, ain't it? So, all right. Well, thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate that. Sorry, just wasn't your night tonight to get into victory lane, but you did have a good car.
Yep, and I want to give a shout out to my dad because his birthday is this Saturday.
Ooh, happy birthday. Early happy birthday. Well, I'm sure he'll be watching Friday night at IWCR and Saturday night. So we'll give him a big happy birthday shout out then. How's that?
Yeah, 10-4.
Okay, Daniel, thanks for hanging around and thanks for talking with me, buddy.
No problem, Rudy.
Okay. Daniel not upset about it. Everything's cool. Well, let's see. Sean Butler right now, the only one on the lead lap. Thomas right behind him, but Thomas is a lap down, and he wants to get up here and maybe pass Sean to get back on the lead lap. So let's see if he's got enough tires. I think he does have fresher tires because I think he did take tires when he pitted last. So we'll see if he's got enough to get by him. 17 laps to go. Been a long race for these boys. But those that have hung in there, you know, that's pretty awesome that these guys have got their cars fixed up and got back into it. Keene does get by Sean. So now it'll put him back on the lead lap. David Howard Jr. will be third. He stopped, took fuel only. Tyler Stanley fourth. And there could be a battle mounting between them two, just to sit on the podium. Brian Phillips in fifth. Robert O'Neill sixth. Mark Robertson seventh. John Mushin Jr. 8th. Timothy Lewis 9th. And Scott Brinson 10th. I know Scott wasn't feeling well earlier, but coming out here and picking up 4 positions, that's 4 points, folks, in the championship. That's 4 points. That means a lot to these guys right here. Scott, actually, let's see, Scott is 13th in points, and this should move him up a whole bunch right here because of all the guys that up ahead of him that did not race tonight. He possibly could pick up about 3 or 4 positions in the points just by getting back in there and staying with it. As Kevin O'Brien left early, Jared Akey did not race tonight. Brian Wortman, Lee Bedsel, Matthew Breckel, none of them guys raced tonight. So he may be able to pass them up. And it kind of gave him a little bit of a boost there to try to stay ahead of John Mushton Jr. Now John, I believe, on pit road, looks like a tire change for him. 13 laps to go. Still sitting there though. As he gets passed up by Mark Robertson. Mark goes into 7th now. Keene trying to get back around and challenge Sean Butler, but all he could hope for right now would be a caution. And these guys have been caution free for a long time now. This has been pretty awesome. 6 cautions here in the last 170 laps. 6 cautions. That's pretty amazing. Butler still in command. He tried to save fuel early enough in the race to bring home the victory here tonight on fuel mileage. Tyler Stanley does get by David Howard Jr., goes into 3rd. David back to 4th. So there was a battle that I missed right there, but I'm sure it was probably not much of a battle. David's not going to race somebody like that. And Tyler, you know, he's a good, clean racer. So he brings it to the podium here tonight. 10 laps to go, folks. Brian Phillips in 5th. And he's just about unscathed here tonight. I don't think he's even hit a gnat on that track. I don't think he even hit a skeeter. Well, thank you all for joining us here tonight in chat and watching the race with me. Appreciate the company, and really good to have all of you, joining us. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button before you leave tonight. And we're going to be talking to the drivers here shortly, right at the end of the race. We'll talk to the top 3. Butler's still in command up here for sure. Thomas Keene now 28.9 seconds back, just ahead of Sean. Not enough laps to go unless Sean messes up and spins out or something. Thomas Keene will not take the lead from him, I'm sure. Tyler Stanley in 3rd, did not get his lap back. David Howard Jr. a lap down as well. Brian Phillips a lap down. And Robert O'Neill a lap down. Timothy Lewis getting back out there with a car that is just tore up from the floor up, folks. And man, way to put it in there, Timothy. Going to roll into 9th place tonight. That's pretty awesome. Scott Brinson, that is, man, that's got to be a great move for him. Getting his car fixed up, sat there for like over half an hour. Wasn't feeling well. Thought he was going to leave, but he came back, finished the race, and he goes into 10th place. He was back in 14th. Got his car fixed and come back in, and now he's up to 10th. So collecting 4 more points. That's a good deal. Butler with 6 to go. Cruising to a victory. Sounds like he may be cutting that engine off in the turns. Let's ride along with him and see if we can hear that. Yes, he is clutching it. Oh boy. He's clutching it in the turns, folks. Oh, this could make the cheese binding. Has he got enough fuel to make it? Did he save enough? 4 to go, folks. Has he saved enough to get the victory here tonight? That's the question. Will he run out on the last lap? This is going to be crazy finish. Not sure how much fuel he's got left in that car, but 3 laps to go. Has he got enough to make it 3 more laps here, folks? Clutching it in the turns. That's not enough for Keene to catch up to him, though. Keene still 27.9 seconds behind him. But if Butler runs out of gas on the last lap, Keene could close up and capture that win from him. I'm sure Sean's listening to me. I think he usually listens in on the broadcast here, so he's doing what he can. He knows I'm watching and listening. Looks like he's done saving fuel now. He is on the throttle in the turns and out of the turns. He's going to have the white flag looking at him this time by, folks. Keene 27.7 seconds behind. One more lap to go. White flag is in the air, folks. Sean Butler with 2 more turns to go, coming down the back stretch here. Keene in second, Tyler Stanley third. We'll get them all down here to chat with them in just a minute. But let's see, Butler still got the straightaway looking at him, coming out of turn 4, saving enough fuel to make it to the end. Conservation worked out for him and brings it into victory lane. Sean Butler winning here tonight for Maximum Speed Xfinity Series at New Hampshire. 180 laps, and by the way, he did lead 111. So he did capture the most laps led, and it sounds like he is out of fuel, folks. He's either out or almost out. Okay, we're going to see if we can catch up to these guys in just a minute, and we'll talk with them, because I'm sure I'm anxious to see if he was almost out of fuel. Sean Butler, you got a copy?
I got you, Rudy.
Wow, Conservation, brother, was the ticket here tonight. How much fuel did you end up with at the end?
0.1 gallons, man.
Whoa.
And I'm out.
One more lap
right now.
One more lap and you wouldn't have made it. We were riding on board with you and heard you clutching it in the turns, and I knew it was going to be close. But congratulations on a great win here tonight. You outsmarted them. You stayed out there longer than anybody else. Man, that's great. Talk about your race and some of your strategies tonight.
Well, I like I told you, I thought that Keene was going to overdrive it a little bit too much and end up slipping, and I got right by him. And once that happened, I was able to just get away and then start saving fuel. So it just worked perfect.
Wow, that was one heck of a race, man. You played your cards just right, took a chance. You know, hey, Columbus did, you know. And you took that chance and you beat the odds. So congratulations on your victory tonight, man. Great win, Sean. Another great victory. That makes, I think, 8 this season you've got.
Yeah, it's been a great season. I gotta get out here and try to win some more races, pull out more of a points, and I'm gonna miss a race here in a couple weeks. So that's gonna let everyone catch right back up. So I'll keep it interesting, but. Congrats to Keene. I'm not sure if I could have done something with him on a short run, man. He was real good, and man, I just don't know what would have happened if we had a late caution there. It would have been a really interesting race.
Yeah, because you'd have had to be in the throttle and used up all what you saved. So anybody you want to thank tonight, Sean?
Thank you and Tommy doing the adminning. I know it's a thankless job out there, so. Just thank you guys putting on these races. Thank all these guys. I know it was I didn't think it was going to be a race of attrition. Like I can't believe how many people wrecked or had damage out there. But just wait for a lot of those guys to stick with it. I mean, there's a lot of guys that had a lot of damage and come home 7th, 8th place with a wrecked car because people were wrecked out. So it's just a good race by everyone there at the end. Just going, what we do, just about 90 laps there to the end.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Not many cars out there, but like you said, a lot of cars that had damage. They set on pit road, got them fixed up. Timothy Lewis, John Mushton, Scott Brinson, them guys stayed right with it. Mark Robertson with a lot of damage and stayed in it. So, but yeah, good racing out there tonight, and I'm kind of shocked at actually that how many people actually did finish. We only lost like 4 people, so that's pretty awesome.
Yep. And congratulations to Brian Phillips coming home 5th. Look at that. I'm sure he doesn't have any damage or anything. So he's. Yeah. I hope you guys are ready to pay out a steering wheel.
Oh yeah, we're ready. Ed said, he's ready. He's the only one that's still eligible for it. So that's pretty amazing, man.
Yeah, that's good on him, and he's still running second in points too, man. Yep. So he's up there. It's not like he's lagging back.
Nope. He's giving it everything he's got, but he's running a good, clean, safe race, and that's what it's going to take. He's completing 95% of every race, and he's definitely with the least amount of cautions because nobody else has got in there with him,
Exactly. So, all right, man.
Okay, thanks a lot, Sean. Yep, congrats.
Yep. Thanks. I'll see you next week. Look forward to it.
Okay, buddy. Okay, Thomas Keene. First off, you come in second. And I wanted to let you know you were one of the winners of $10.
Yay!
So, yeah, we chose the numbers, but we had a few guys that left, and one of the guys that did leave is not going to collect the money. That was Stephen Pearson for finishing 12th. Everybody else will get paid out. So you finished second tonight. Boy, just you obviously did not have enough fuel to make it to the end, did you?
I think I would have, because me and Butler, we did pay on that last caution. But I was looking at it during that run there, I was saying, I don't know, I got 40 laps left, 8.8 gallons, it's going to be close. And when I saw the Tyler pit, I'm like, let me come in, let me make sure I'm going to be good to go. So if Butler's going to stretch it out all the way or pit late, I know I can probably get around him or, pull away a little bit. So I try to do the safe thing. Ended up it didn't work really, but I still brought it home second. I got tight there off the 2, which really killed my time of staying up with Butler. But all in all, it was a great race. I wanted to play it safe. I have to thank pretty much my teammates for helping me out there. I had Daniel calculating the fuel for me while after he got wrecked. Sad to see him go. But it was definitely, the guys back at the shop at Checkers Records really did bring me a good machine out to New Hampshire tonight. It was a really good race. We had a fast car, led a lot of laps. It was definitely a clean race at that second half, so that was really good to see what this thing can do in the long run. And Butler just had it locked down. Mm-hmm. We definitely had the short run going, but we'll get them next week at Indianapolis.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, well, anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
I just want to thank my Lord Jesus Christ for helping me out tonight. Rudy, you guys in the booth, you always do a phenomenal job, Rudy, every day. I wanted to give a shout out to John. I know this is his last race with the league, so I just want to tell him thank you for being a great member. And I want to thank my parents for watching, all my fans, my teammates at Checkers Records, Charles, Grant, Daniel Smallwood, Michael Gonzalez, Calvin Troy, James Lehman, he helps me out every here and there. Everyone in this race, that was a great race. And also wanted to give a shout out to my parents. Hopefully they're watching. So I have to thank them for everything. And hopefully get my new sim rig here soon. So hopefully we'll have an upgrade in racing.
Roger that. Okay, well, thanks for talking with us, Thomas, and again, congrats on your win or on your second place finish here tonight. Good job.
Thank you, there, Rudy. I appreciate it, man.
All right, Tyler Stanley, got a copy.
What's up, Rudy?
Well, you come in third tonight. You beat out David Howard. Their third place is pretty respectable. What did you think of the racing here tonight, and how was your car toward the end there?
I think it was great racing all around. It's a hard track to race side by side at. You get on the bottom, some people can pass, some people can't. I just got lucky, a couple cautions, and wound up where I was. And I thought the setup was awesome. It really, I think, fit my style. A little tight through the center and on entry and loose on exit. And I just used that to my advantage, saved tires, and thought I had a decent shot there for a bit. And then I messed up on that last green flag caution and gave away maybe a second place if I could have kept up with Thomas.
Yeah, it looked like it, but you know, you finished one lap down, and it really was a good race for all of you guys to run that well, and to run like 90 laps there at the end with no cautions. That was pretty amazing, and with 10 of you still running out there on the track, and a few of them, I think there was like 4 or 5 that had a lot of damage on their vehicles, sat on pit road for a long time and got damage fixed up.
Yes, sir. It was awesome to watch. You know, yeah, it was a great race all around. Great drivers here, man. There's a lot of talent. The drivers are awesome. Just can't beat it.
There you go. Well, thanks, Tyler. Appreciate it. And congrats on your 3rd place. And anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, Rudy, I'd like to thank my good Lord Jesus. I'd like to thank my sponsor, Stanley Graphics. The best paint schemes on iRacing. I don't care who you are. 412 Student Ministries, they've sponsored me all along. Great youth group I go to every Wednesday. I'd like to give a thank you to you, Rudy, for the broadcast, and everybody, all the admins here. They do a great job, all the great drivers, and got to give a shout out to my girlfriend, Sha. She's watching tonight, so hey, baby.
Very cool, very cool. All right, Tyler, thanks for chatting with us, buddy. And let's see, you finished 3rd yet? Yeah, you weren't in the money tonight. Sorry. But all right, we'll see you next week then, okay?
Yes, sir, Rudy.
Okay, thanks. Okay, we're going to run down through the results here real quick. Give me 1 second. Sean Butler going to be our winner here tonight. Thomas Keene finishing 2nd. Them were the only 2 on the lead lap, actually. And Tyler Stanley finishing 3rd. David Howard Jr. 4th. Brian Phillips coming in 5th, the only one that's still eligible for the wheel, and his car looked like it was in mint condition yet. Robert O'Neill finishing 6th. Mark Robertson 7th. John Mushin Jr. 8th. Timothy Lewis 9th, and Scott Brinson 10th. All of them were still on the track. Daniel Smallwood finishing 11th, and he was one of the $10 winners. James Lehman 13th. Kevin O'Brien 14th. Was the last one out there. I wanted to see the number 8, John Mushton Jr. won $10. So he will be, let's see. Okay, the winners of the money, Thomas Keene, John Mushton Jr., Daniel Smallwood were the only ones. And the 12th place guy, Stephen Pearson, left the server, so he doesn't get his money. So we'll be paying that money out here right directly. So again, congrats here to our winner, Sean Butler, and we will see you tomorrow night for Mach Speed Racing. Thanks for tuning in tonight, folks. We appreciate it, and we'll see you then. Till then, stay safe and have a good night.